Hi, Sunshine. Welcome back to Cool House Connection, your every other Tuesday insider guide to all the coolness that is Yancey County, North Carolina, and beyond. I'm Deb Deccan, your host, and I hope if you haven't found a reason yet to share this podcast with folks in your circle of influence, I hope today's podcast will be that reason and nudge. And here's why. Today's podcast is focused on the fauna part of Appalachia's flora and fauna fame. Fauna means our animals who call this part of the world home. Fauna encompasses all forms of animal life, from the smallest microorganisms to the largest mammals, and includes both wild and domesticated animals. Any way you look at it or define it, this region is an abundance of riches when it comes to our fauna. I grew up in Northeast Ohio, and beyond the backyard mosquitoes and yellow lightning bugs out and about this time of the year, it was a pretty wanting bioverse. The occasional white-tailed deer and songbirds were the celebrated exception. Lately, I've been told by my farmer friends that feral pigs have invaded the landscape to the detriment of the crops, but the nature common to that part of Ohio tends more toward rabbits, squirrels, the sneaky copperheads, and the freshwater fare of Lake Erie. Maybe that's one of the reasons I was so awestruck by the incredible fauna I discovered in abundance here in our adopted home of Burnsville, North Carolina. It's easy to become complacent when we consider all that we are lucky enough to live with and be adjacent to. The two-leggeds and four-leggeds live mostly in harmony here. There's enough space and green for all to thrive and appreciate. We have abundant rivers, mountains, and forests. Those are the habitats that surround us. And here's what that means to my fellow Yancey County animal lovers. On my daily hikes up and down our mountain, I hear and see white-tailed deer at each and every switchback. Often found grazing in our meadows, they are the graceful acrobats that dance across our rugged terrain with their white fluffies pointed skyward. So abundant are the white-tailed deer here that the hunting season is important for population control. And while there are exceptions to every rule, the hunters I've met and spent time with here are incredibly respectful in their hobby, and they do everything they can to ensure any bounty in excess of their own family's needs is paid forward to help address the food insecurity of their neighbors. These deer share for our human delight their adorable fawns every springtime. A lot of times they're even twins, which even make it more fun. Goats are another of the more interesting animals in residence here. Not only are they docile and generous in their milk, but because they consume all manner of otherwise difficult brush, they are often put in service to tame the invasive species of flora, and they do so with contentedness and efficiency. And what about those bears and beavers and otters? Well, the black bears we share space with are wild, but they're also curious about their human neighbors. Sadly, some folks take this curiosity as permission for humans to engage with bears, and that's not a good thing for either species. Just leave them be. Watch them climb your apple trees, don't feed them, observe, but never ever get between a mama and her cubs. It pays to always be bear aware, but hike with bear spray, never something more if at all possible. Mother Nature is wise, and hibernation is a season for a reason. We all need the break. Foxes are another wild delight. The first time you glimpse one of their bushy red tails skirting across an intersection in pursuit of prey, you almost think you're in an animated cartoon. They aren't friends of backyard chicken keepers, but they are beautiful to behold, and much more attractive than the lowly possums, who eat their weight in insects and rodents and are loving parents to their young, but often end up as roadkill. Now let's talk about those mosquitoes and one of the reasons why so many folks love living here. Above 3,000-foot elevation, we rarely suffer the onslaught of these annoying and disease-carrying biters. Yay! And if you happen to have a few bats in the belfry, as we do in our current home, you suffer even fewer. Now, I'll admit that the one sloggy insect I've yet to find a good use for is the seasonal shield bug or stink bug. They seem to love joining the indoor spots when the seasons shift. Thankfully, they are outnumbered by easily controlled beetles and beautiful butterflies. Butterflies in their spectacle of bright colors brings to mind a truly unique fauna of these parts, and that's the ghost fireflies. They mesmerize us on dusk forest walks in late May and early June. Only for 3 weeks, these ghost fireflies are the stuff of literary lore. For me, when I see them, I can't help but draw parallels to Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. There's a hush of respect and awe as you watch them do their mating dances and shimmer their blue-green iridescence hovering over the forest floor. You can take ghost firefly tours here, and if you're in town during their short season, I highly encourage you to do so. You will be transfixed. Another sound of fauna at dusk here is the baying of coyotes, who often chorus with domesticated dogs. If you close your eyes and just listen, you can almost size and distance their packs, which allows you to ensure that your precious dogs and cats are protected. Our lush and abundant rivers are teeming with box turtles and bullfrogs and wood frogs, but the local amphibians play second fiddle, as they should, to our delicious and plentiful trout. Rainbow and spotted and the luscious brown trout are the stuff that beckon our fly fishermen. It's really cool to watch men and women new to our area get hooked on fly fishing. The skill and design of fly tying is a wonder to behold and an art form in and of itself. It's not at all unusual to find doctors and lawyers and high-powered business people choose to wind down a tough day by donning a pair of waders and exploring the rivers to find their catch. We have outfitters in town here who continue to draw and teach us all about the where and how of fishing for sport and relaxation. Hint, it's about a whole lot more than the flick of the wrist. When folks fly in to check out the real estate here, I often recommend they incorporate a fly fishing adventure in their time on the ground. It just seems to flesh out in real time the wonders and joys of living here. Selling homes in our area is often not only about the house itself, but also about the fauna one can enjoy from the home. Wild turkeys are certainly part of that draw. Because these birds are nonchalant in how and where they wander with their young, your house is just worth more if you have a family or two in residence on your property. Our friend Sue Wasserman, who's renowned as a pet sitter of choice, has taken fauna to literary heights in her storybooks of these local animals' imagined adventures. Sue's inventive brain and way with words draws young and old alike into a deeper appreciation of residing with animals. You can find Sue's multiple published works, including Even Goats Take Cat Naps, at Amazon.com. We'll try to get Sue to come on a future broadcast and tell us one of her excellent stories. Unlike most places I've ever lived, proximity to wildlife is integral in the draw of many of our more interesting homes here. And I think I figured out why. It's all about what you experience living in the house, in those quiet moments over a cup of morning coffee or an evening cocktail. I'll never forget a gorgeous home in Mountain Air that I previewed a few years ago that featured a scrumptious dinner of lobster thermidor and a robust gathering of smart, engaged attendees of all political persuasions. Delightful as all of that was, the high point of the evening was the entire gathered group hanging over the deck railing, watching a young brown bear just wander the gardens below. It was awe, pure and simple, and it added warm engagement and connectedness to that beautiful home and the memory of an evening very well spent. There are many such homes in Mountain Air, which is a mere 2 miles from the Burnsville western town limits. Yes, it's a country club. Yes, it's beautifully manicured and maintained. Yes, it's where the moneyed interest often choose to play and live. But much more than that, Mountain Air embraces the nature all around it, and even has a dedicated naturalist on site to help all the residents notice and appreciate and learn about their magnificent surroundings. I and Ryan have happily represented and sold many homes in Mountain Air, and if that rarefied atmosphere, including renowned golf course and private airfield, appeals to you, call us, and we'll connect you with the very best of best the mountain has to offer. As always, if vetted crypto assets are part of your real estate purchase plan, we'll help you make that happen too. Speaking of Mountain Air, I also get very excited about the current 65-acre opportunity just inside the gates of Mountain Air. It's independent of the community, but it enjoys the same points of access. And this unrivaled acreage opportunity can be yours for less than $2 million. It offers a wealth of opportunity for estate, family compound, or even simpatico development. If that sounds interesting, I encourage you to give a call and we'll provide the insider scoop. Whether mountain air fancy or lowly holler down a mile or longer bumpy gravel road, it's important to underscore for you, our listeners, how Yancey County continues to take important steps to protect the habitats of our fauna. One shining example is that major portions of Pisgah National Forest are designated for conservation, which helps protect local wildlife and where they like to live. Climate change threats certainly abound here as they do in many places, and we are not immune to wildfires or mudslides. But in the face of those changes, it motivates folks here to lean into additional habitat protection, and that's a very good thing. Yancey County's diverse fauna reflects our region's rich natural heritage. It offers our visitors and residents opportunities for wildlife observation, outdoor activities like hiking and bird watching, and an appreciation for the ecological balance of our precious area. Engagement with local conservation efforts is one of the main ways we help safeguard natural species and their habitats for future generations. We love our fauna, we protect our fauna, and we who are lucky enough to live here understand how very cool it is to be part of this circle of life. Come join us and stay cool.